Tonight on Cronkite News, with just days to go until Thanksgiving, one local charity is in need of more turkeys for those in need. Plus, how this weekend's homecoming game against BYU will impact the local bar scene in Tempe. And we have the latest info on how tickets for the game have been selling. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Brady Hansen. We begin tonight with news from the nation's capital. President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General has withdrawn from consideration. Former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz made the announcement earlier today. The move comes one day after he met with senators in an attempt to win support for his own confirmation. Gaetz had faced scrutiny over sexual misconduct allegations, which he has denied. Trump said he appreciates the effort by Gaetz to get confirmed, adding Gaetz to not want to be a distraction to his administration. It's not yet clear who the president will nominate for the job next. Also today in Washington, freshman congressmen are getting used to life in Washington. Part of that prep involves picking where they'll spend their time as lawmakers. Macy Markham and photographer Jackson Sutter spent the day browsing available offices with one of Arizona's representative-elects.
What do winning the lottery and getting elected to Congress have in common? Today, freshmen-elect tried their luck in a drawing for prime office space in the Capitol. Some of the freshmen were pleased with their draw. Others, not so much. We followed Phoenix Democrat Yasmin Ansari as she toured offices vacated by lawmakers with more seniority. She drew number 12 out of 57 incoming members.
Nice floor, nice floor.
Top priorities, room for her staff,
2 legislative aides,
decor, and walking distance to the House floor.
That's a really nice view.
For Ansari, the view was the deciding factor.
I'm torn between the first two. Okay. I think they were both great.
Why?
The first one's spacious on the top floor. I just thought the layout was nice. Yeah, it was great.
If she wins re-election, she'll get to move to something bigger, better, or closer.
Ansari chooses 1432.
In Washington, Macy Markham, Cronkite News.
Maricopa County canvassed the results of the November election this afternoon. This certified that the results were accurate in what turned out to be the second busiest election day in county history. During their presentation to the Board of Supervisors, county election officials said that more than 2 million voters cast ballots in this election. That's over 80% of eligible voters. More than 53% of voters cast their ballot in person or dropped off ballots on election day. Just over 47% of voters returned an early ballot by mail. While the county noted that there were some slowdowns in the process due to the 2-page ballot and number of people who voted in person, they said they made huge improvements in how many ballots they had counted by election night.
So I just want to go back to the number of ballots that we reported on election night at 8 p.m. And we had reported over 2.2 million pages of ballots at 8 p.m. on election night. That's more than the total number of voters that voted in the 2020 presidential election in total.
Sky Harbor Airport has just been awarded $35 million for terminal improvements. The money comes from the Federal Airport Terminal Program, which is part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. The money will be used to replace part of Terminal 4's cooling system. The money is in addition to the $36 million the airport received a few months ago for the project. As the holiday season is approaching, food banks can play a vital role in making sure each family has a meal at the table. This year's St. Mary's Food Bank is facing a turkey shortage. Cronkite News reporter Alyssa Firestone tells us how the community is stepping up.
This holiday season, St. Mary's Food Bank is about 7,000 turkeys shy of reaching its Thanksgiving goal. Jerry Brown, the food bank's director of public relations, emphasized the importance of turkey donations to meet their target.
Our goal and our hope is that the last car that drives out on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, drives away with a turkey in the back seat.
If turkeys are not delivered in time, some families may receive alternative options.
We'll have to substitute chicken. We'll have to substitute a different meat.
Despite the shortage, volunteers still pack emergency food boxes filled with other holiday items. St. Mary's reports indicate that over 1,100 families picked up boxes in a single day.
We love Arizona. We love the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. So we try to give back when we can.
Community partners are also stepping in to help fill the gap, including the Phoenix Police Department, which announced the launch of its turkey drive last week.
A lot goes into serving the poor and the and the underhand, and the people behind the scenes do a lot of great things, and it takes the whole team of volunteers and staff in order to serve those.
Donors can drop off frozen turkeys and other food items Monday through Wednesday at St. Mary's distribution locations. In Phoenix, Alyssa Firestone, Cronkite News.
Well, we are exactly 1 week away from Thanksgiving, so what can we expect when it comes to the weather? Amon Abraham joins us now from the Weather Center with our Turkey Day forecast.
Yes, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Now let's go and take a look and see what these low temperatures we have for this evening. Now, as we can see, we are starting to dip off into those 60-degree temperatures, and it'll be 61 degrees by 10 p.m. tonight. So we are starting to see a little bit more consistency in those lower temperatures. Now let's see what we have for tomorrow. As we can see, it'll be 51 degrees here in Phoenix, and it'll be a shockingly low 19 degrees up in Window Rock. Now let's see what high temperatures we have. As we can see, it will be 83 degrees over here in Phoenix, and it will be a nice 55 degrees up north in Page. So it will be nice, low temperatures for tomorrow. Now let's see what we have for these tailgating temperatures. It is a big game for this weekend. We have BYU versus ASU. So if you are tailgating, let's take a look into these temperatures. So as we can see, it'll be 57 degrees at 9 a.m. So if you're getting out a little early, it still might be a little cold, but by 11 a.m. we'll start to warm up. It'll be 68 degrees, and right before game time, it will be 75 degrees. So it'll be perfect temperatures if you are going to be out supporting ASU or BYU. Now let's see what we have for the rest of the week. As we see, it will be 80-degree temperatures on Friday and Saturday, but let's see what we have for the following week. So on Sunday, it will start to be pretty cloudy with 75 degrees, and for the rest of the week, we will also see a lot of cloudy temperatures leading up till Thanksgiving on Thursday, where we will see some nice clear skies and 72 degrees. So if you are going to be out, it'll be perfect temperatures if you're going to be out for Thanksgiving, or even if you are going to be tailgating for this game. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, that's perfect tailgating weather if you ask me. Coming up, we're going to break down the ASU and BYU game this weekend. Plus the upcoming road closures and some advice on how to avoid them.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
Mountain America Stadium will be the site on Saturday. We are getting you ready for the big game. I'm Lauren Avenatti. We have team coverage as ASU prepares for the biggest home game of the season. This game is sold out. Ryan Posesnik is in Tempe with more on the ticket frenzy for this game. Ryan?
While Mountain America Stadium sits empty right now, that won't be the case on Saturday. Student tickets to the game sold out on Monday, while tickets to the general public sold out on Tuesday. Considering the high stakes for the Sun Devils into this game, the Inferno section should be out in full force.
Usually when we sell a game out, it usually is like the Friday before the day of the game. So to sell out on a Tuesday, just means that there was just so much enthusiasm around it. And the student tickets actually sold out as well, which we haven't had a student sell out since Michigan State in 2018.
There was such a high demand for student tickets that ASU ticketing services had to turn on a queuing system to make sure their website didn't crash. ASU students are able to access their tickets for free, while single ticket prices to the public are as low as $300 and as high as $1,000. So if you're looking to sell or give your ticket away, Kenny Dillingham has a special message for you.
If you're an ASU fan and you own a ticket and you're selling it or you're giving it away, make them show you an ASU hat or an ASU shirt.
ASU sold more student tickets in this game than usual, and they even added a second student section on the north side of the stadium. The Sun Devils are hoping that the home field advantage will make a difference in this critical game on Saturday. Reporting from Mountain America Stadium, I'm Ryan Pesesnik, Cronkite News.
There will be more than 53,000 people heading to the stadium. And with homecoming, there could be some traffic issues that you need to be aware of. Jason Goldie joins us now with everything you need to get to the game safely and on time.
It's homecoming and senior night, so there will be some additional street closures you need to be aware of if you're heading for the game. Downtown Tempe street closures begin on Friday at 7 p.m. and continue until game day at 3 p.m. Closures include 10th Street east of Mill Avenue, Myrtle Avenue south of University Drive, McAllister Avenue between Apache Boulevard and University Drive, and University Drive, as you see here, between Mill Avenue and Rural Road. Much of these closures include the parade route. For parking, if you're coming from the north or south, take Loop 101 or McClintock Drive. Take Rio Salado Parkway to get to the reserved lots north of the stadium and lots 6 and 8 off Rural Road. Take University Drive to get to the Nova structure, Fulton Center, or Stadium structure. Disabled parking is available on the lower level of the Packard parking lot between 6th Street and Rural Road. According to a Valley Metro spokesperson, the best way to get to the game will be taking the light rail.
The egress of most events is very busy. It's packed with cars. It's crowded. Sometimes walking to a light rail station or a streetcar stop is just more convenient, and it is still more affordable to ride public transit than it is to take a rideshare service.
Remember, you now need to use the Valley Metro app or get a reloadable copper card. Get off the light rail at Veterans Way, College Avenue. However you get there, it's going to be a great game. Sun Devil fans, remember to wear gold. Back to you.
I think this is probably going to be the biggest football game and the liveliest atmosphere for a football game at Arizona State in at least a decade and maybe even more. It's certainly one of the most meaningful home football games in recent Sun Devil football history, and is just evidence of the remarkable job that Kenny Dillingham and his staff have done in turning the fortunes of this program around.
ASU is undefeated at home, and BYU is undefeated on the road. On paper, this appears to be an evenly matched game, but would you believe ASU is actually favored to win according to the sports books? For more on the betting lines, let's send it over to our Kobe Van Noort.
The Sun Devils have been making waves this season with an impressive 8-2 record overall, and in those 8 victories, they've covered the spread every time, making them a pretty good bet. As we mentioned, the odds are favoring ASU this weekend. They're 3-point favorites with a money line at -155. The over or under for total points is set at 48.5. What stands out most, though, is ASU's dominance at home. They've covered the spread in every home game this season, making Mountain America Stadium a fortress for the Sun Devils. ASU entered their first season in the Big 12 as big underdogs, picked to finish near the bottom of the conference with plus 10,000 odds to win Big 12. So if you had placed an $100 bet on ASU before the season started, you would win $10,000 if they won the Big 12. Now, fast forward to November, the Sun Devils have exceeded expectations, climbing all the way to 3rd in the standings, and now their odds have improved to plus 350 to win the Big 12. Hey, that's pretty wild. Arizona State leads all-time series against BYU 20-8, but this will be the first time they have faced off as Big 12 opponents. The last time they squared off was in 2021, and BYU beat ASU 27-17. That matchup was the last season the Sun Devils were ranked in the top 25. ASU is looking to flip the script on Saturday afternoon. At the touchscreen, Kobe Van Noort, Cronkite News.
We'll see if there will be a betting frenzy on the matchup. The game is sure to be good business for local bars in Tempe. Between homecoming and BYU fans coming for the game, local businesses are preparing for the extra traffic.
Expect a big crowd, so we're definitely staffed up here. Got extra servers on, extra bartenders on, so all guests have a good experience before the game and during the game, and everybody gets great service and has a good time.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. It's always exciting when it's a home game with a big crowd like this, especially when it's sold out. Yeah.
We've told you how to get to the game, how to watch the game, and how you might bet on the game. But who's going to win the game? Our experts break down the two teams' strengths and weaknesses when we come back.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
He was telling me if we win and somebody else loses, and then like ranch dressing falls on a wing, I don't really know. It just play the very best you can play, prepare the very best you can prepare, and like I told the guys last week in my leadership council meeting, like don't get lost in the sauce.
ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham talking about how confusing the possible Big 12 scenarios may play out as to who will be in the championship game. ASU doesn't completely control its own destiny, but they can help themselves by winning on Saturday. Let's kick it over to Jalen Weathers and DeAndre Sanders for more on who is going to win this game.
ASU football is having one of their best seasons this year, but I'm just not too sold, DeAndre, that this team is capable enough of beating this BYU team. Their defense is scary, and they can come up with great plays for these teams. So if you come up right here, now, it is 2nd and 20 right here. This defense, because of this, they know they're looking to pass because they are down right now. So they have 3 safeties over the top to scheme this up, along with the corners and the middle linebackers playing underneath these receivers. So this is going to create a trap concept, essentially a double team. And because of this, if you run the play, now this quarterback is going to get sucked in to a bad throw, and this safety makes him pay. Now, if you stop it right there, DeAndre, you know big-time players make big-time plays, and this safety came up big time for them.
Absolutely right. You already know as a defender, if that safety is not over the top, where that ball was placed, only the receiver could get to it. So that was a great play by that
Exactly. But if you're not sold on that, DeAndre, I have another play for you. So look, this quarterback, Jake Reslap, is a baller. So look, if you see right here, now run the clip. Now, this guy knows how to pick apart a defense from left to right. He knows how to read it to see which throw he's going to make. So if you stop it right here, now, they're running a 2-man concept by Utah right here, these defenders. So this corner right here, that means he's going to play underneath in the flat area along with the safety over the top to help. The problem in that, though, is they're running 2 verticals right here. So this means that this safety is stressed. So because he's stressed, that forces the corner to man-turn this, and it's going to create a hole for a late out to develop. So if you run the play, this late out develops, and what does Jake Reslop do? Make a great throw away from the defender. Now, stop it right here. Now, if you're not sold on that, DeAndre, I have another one for you. Now, these ballers on offense, cannot be stopped. They have a great receiving group, and a man by the name of Darius Lassiter is one of their top ballers this year. Run the play. Now, if you look at right here, Darius Lassiter creates enough space. When you think they're down, they're not down. He's going to make a defender miss, get in the end zone, and that's how a big-time player make a big-time play when you need it the most.
I hear what you're saying, right? You made a lot of great points. And to me, your biggest point that you made was the greatness of that defense. There's no question that they are one of the best.
Of course.
But as a defender, you already know sometimes overly aggressive defenses can be their own kryptonites. And that is what's going to happen on Saturday. So let's look at this formation here. We have Sam Levitt and our running back here in a play action concept. That is going to suck the defense up so that way he can look at his levels routes down here between his two receivers. The outside receiver, he's going to run a quick 3-yard in. That's going to leave Jordan Tyson to run a 10-yard in, allowing Sam to only focus on one part of the field. But go ahead and roll it. As you can see here, the defense does a great job at taking his option away, forcing him to have to improvise. Now, Sam Levitt is maybe one of the best at scrambling with his feet. Now, hold on. If you think you have him figured out, right, you have to worry about this bowling ball and Cam Scatterboo coming out of the backfield causing absolute havoc, right? I spoke to Cam earlier this year, and he told me that he doesn't feel like anyone is more physical than him in this conference. And this is absolutely evident with this run right here, just punishing, right? Go ahead and run it a little bit. Go ahead, pause it right here. So at this point, this play is supposed to be over with. He is surrounded by defenders with nowhere else to go, but that's when that mentality that he was talking about comes into play. Go ahead and run it. He breaks through 2 arm tackles, keeps his balance, and scrambles for 51-yard touchdown. That's that mentality. There's no question why he is 3rd in the nation in all-purpose yards, right? I'll end this by saying there's once this boxer, Mike Tyson, who said everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. So we'll see how BYU responds.
Oh, my goodness, Dre. So who do you have going into this matchup?
I have ASU 28-21.
28-21. I have BYU by 10 points. They won their last matchup by 10, so give me BYU again.
All right, this is going to be a great game and a physical one on Saturday, so make sure you guys tune in to see what happens.
When you look at the stats, these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Let's look at it by the numbers. So far this season, the Sun Devils and the Cougars have produced nearly the same amount of points per game, with BYU having the slight edge. ASU dominates on the ground, averaging 30 more yards than BYU. Lastly, the Cougars have locked down opponents this season, allowing only 176 passing yards per game. Here we have our QB comparison for this weekend's matchup. Jake Retzloff has more passing yards and touchdowns, but Sam Levitt holds the advantage with fewer interceptions and a better completion percentage. Finally, with ASU's stunning turnaround this year, we want to know how familiar people are with this team. Kaylee Moncrief stopped by Memorial Union in Tempe to find out.
Are you an ASU football fan?
I am.
Yes, I am.
I am.
Yes, we are.
Big fans.
Sort of. Are you going to the game on Saturday?
I am.
Hopefully if I can get it off work.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, do you know who this is?
That's Cam Scatterboo.
Is it Scatterboo?
That's Cam Scatterboo.
Scatterboo?
That's the GOAT. It's Cam Scatterboo.
I don't know how to say his last name.
I don't know him. Do you know who this is?
That's my guy, Kenny Dillingham.
Oh, yeah. Dilly.
Yeah.
Is that Coach Kenny Dillingham?
That's Kenny Dillingham.
He looks like the coach.
I do not, unfortunately.
No clue. That's okay. That's Kenny Dillingham, head coach. Now you know.
That's all for your Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Lauren Avenatti.
Definitely been a big week for Arizona State, and I'm not just talking football. After the break, we'll tell you who at ASU just celebrated their birthday.
What?
Coming up on the cut.
Coming up on the cut. Coming up on the cut.
How students can build their broadcast journalism portfolio with opportunities to learn more about on-air reporting and studio production.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at @thecut_network and on X @CutASU.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
With all this ASU talk, we have to give a shout out to the school's mascot, Sparky the Sun Devil, who just turned 78 celebrating his birthday yesterday. Before there was the Arizona State Sun Devils, there was the normal school Bulldogs. In 1945, the student body voted to introduce the name Sun Devils. Sparky's look has changed throughout the years, but his devilish grin has always remained the same. That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Brady Hanson. Thank you for joining us.